Happy Friday night, everybody. Hope everybody's doing all right. Since there's no Spice Runners tonight, figured we would at least hop on here and do a little something. So hopefully y'all can hear me all right with this new mic setup. This is only the second or third time I've used it in a live stream, so hopefully it's working. All right, sorry about that. My power went out. It is storming here, so hopefully you guys can still hear me and everything. Let me know if you can't. Seems like everything's working on this end. But yeah, my power flickered right as I went live. Go figure. Say hi to everybody. Evan. Gap. Jason. Let's see who else we got here. We got Pat's fan saying hi to everybody. That's not your hillbilly connection. It's my hillbilly connection because lightning strike happened right as I went live and the whole house went black. But we're back. So we got Ken. Who else we got here? We got Frankie. Like I already said hi to Gap. There's Jason. Eben saying hi to everybody. All right. Ride the lightning. Exactly, right? Hopefully it doesn't ride it directly to my computers. So now that everything's turned off, I'm going to get everything kind of turned back on here. If my... Oh, hang on. Let me be right back. Bear with me for just a second. All right, sorry about that, guys. Having some issues here with the lightning, shutting off all my stuff. So now we should be good. Glad everybody could make it. Hope everybody's having a good Friday night. Just going through the chat here. Seen them before, but never backstage. What are you talking about here? Hopefully my electricity doesn't go out again. All of our lines, at least in this part of North Carolina, are buried in the ground. So very rarely do we lose power. They're not as susceptible. And something's flickering. Goodness gracious. I swear, every time I try to do something. But it's probably because I have too many lights on. Duke Power is probably like, you have too many lights. Oh, I know what flickered. Hang on. That's what flickered. So hopefully that will be better. Yeah, thank you. Star Destroyer is over your house. Well, yeah, probably. That's probably what it is, Gap. So don't, normally we have Spice Runners tonight. Eben's off partying somewhere. Looked like he was at Lucasfilms today. Or maybe it was yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was today. So hopefully he had a good time. He was sending up some pretty cool pics and posting them on the Facebook group. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go to the Spice Runners Facebook group and check that out. Let me pull up that here. Where is it? See, I have the Facebook group on here, but it's not posting for whatever reason. So, but yeah, if you guys want to join and be a co-host, what's up, Black? If you want to join and be a co-host, I will put the link in the description. Feel free to hop on StreamYard and join me in case I get kicked off because of the lightning or the storming. See, there's a good one. See, I'm from Kansas, so storms don't really bother me. So I just don't like it when the power goes out because then it knocks me off the internet. So let's see. Let's do a little unboxing. Got this from Brett over at Cool to Know and Collecting with Cool. Many of you know him from Spice Runners, or not Spice Runners, Rogue 5 Cantina on Sunday night. So be sure to tune into that. But let's open this up here and see what I got. I was one of the winners of the giveaways. In case you didn't know, he's doing a pretty big giveaway in like in 10 days or something like that. So be on the lookout for that because that'll be pretty cool. Let's see. Here's a note. Justin Utinni, thank you for supporting me and becoming a great friend, Brett. Or at least I think that says Brett. It might say bitch. I don't know. I think it says Brett. So, cool. Let's see, what else? Oh, this looks space age. This is the type of stuff you send drugs and stuff in, I think. Let's see here. I might be able to wrap up in this thing later and keep warm. This looks like like a space blanket. So let's see here. Big reveal. Here, I'll do it from this side. It is a Bo-Katan 3.75 inch retro collection figure. How about that? And the card has a weathered look. So that's pretty cool. Can always have something like that to put on the shelf or give to my nephew or something. That's cool. Nice. Cool. See, I'm running solo here, so I have to click on all the chats. I will be giving away, once I reach 200 subscribers, this, which is a metal commemorative episode 4 Cantina band. Let me open it up here. So once I hit 200 subscribers, I will be giving that away. So you got 5 Cantina members in there. It is never been opened. Just the metal box here. So that's pretty cool. It's got some cool artwork on it. So make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and follow button. Let me make sure I get these in here. And of course, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the Spice Runners Lounge, the Hyperdrive channel with George Medina, and then on Sunday nights at 9 p.m., the Rogue 5. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow those if you haven't already. I'm sure a lot of you already have, but if you haven't, make sure you like, subscribe to them. What's up, Rex? What are we making tonight? Tonight we're making memories because Spice Runners is off, so I figured, well, I'll hijack their time slot. Where do we go to buy lights? Buy lights. You mean the light boxes? Like these? Where's my camera? Right here? Is that what you're talking about? Those, you can go to the Utinni Designs website right here. And actually, I'll put that in the chat too, because I recently just updated it. And you can also grab the new plaques that I'm making. In fact, Jeff Sage and Jason's already ordered some. So be sure to get those ordered if you have something. I need a lightsaber core for a Stranger lightsaber build. What do you recommend? Oh, a lightsaber core. You know, Rex, I actually have one somewhere that was supposed to go trying to think where I have it. Let me look for that because I have a lightsaber core from gosh, what's the name of that company now? Neo Sabers. I have one from Neo Sabers. So I don't know if it'll work for your needs, but I can take some pictures of it and send it to you, and you just let me know because it's not something I'm going to use. It was a core that I had bought to try to replace a bad core in one of my hilts, and they sent me the kind of the universal one instead of the one that went with that hilt. So I have it laying around here somewhere, brand new, never been used. So I don't know if it'll work for your needs, but you can try it. It is just the battery core though, with I think it has a board on it and some sounds and stuff, but I'm not sure how to get it to the top to where you light it up. So that might be an extra piece you have to buy. I'm not sure, but I'll send you some pictures of it. So tomorrow I am heading to a what's called a Collecticon here in Charlotte. Let me pull this up here. Share screen. So I'm going to this tomorrow. It's a 2-day event. It's Saturday and Sunday. I'm just going to go tomorrow. Chuck Norris will be there. It looks like a Power Ranger will be there. The voice of Mario. Some Japanese anime characters will be there. So that'll be pretty cool. They have over 900 vendor tables. And it'll be at the Charlotte Convention Center. So if you're anywhere close to Charlotte, come check that out tomorrow. Live performance by the Yin Yang Twins. I have no idea who that is. Meet the icon Chuck Norris, Dragon Ball's Goku or Goku. I don't watch anime, so I don't know half of these people. The original pink, blue, and black Power Rangers. Video game icon Nintendo's Mario, Charles Martinet. Looks like some voice actors from Dragon Ball Z, Demon Slayer, UG, bunch of stuff that I have no clue what it is. I'm basically going there for the vendor tables. So that'll be pretty cool. So let me remove that here. And then I'm also going next weekend to, where's my mouse at? Bear with me here. Next weekend is, where's it at? Okay, here it is. Next weekend is the Charlotte Comic-Con, which, funny story, the Collecticon's actually in Charlotte. It's in Uptown Charlotte. The Charlotte Comic-Con is in Concord at the Embassy Suites. So that is a 1-day only event. It's only 6 hours, 10 a.m. Well, actually, it's more than 6 hours, I guess, but 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a pretty small show. I think they have a couple of the 501st come there. But it's just a small show. 2,800 square foot ballroom. Comic creators and artists, costume contest, $350 in cash prizes, which I will not be partaking in. Let's see, Star Wars, Star Trek, Ghostbusters clubs participating. $5 admission. So that'll be pretty cool. That is next Saturday, so I'll be going to that. So a couple cool little events. Hey, Lack, see you later, buddy. Couple little events coming up. So that'll be cool to go see that stuff. But let's see, what else is new? For pickups, I don't have much. I showed some of this on my other live stream. I printed this little BD unit. So he's pretty cool. His little legs move a little bit and his head moves a tiny bit. But he's pretty neat. Printed up some little T-Rexes. Their mouth closes and opens. The legs move. Got a little tail. His little T-Rex arms move. So that was another thing I printed. If you didn't see my review on this cool thing, let me pull this up here. We want to go to my other camera. This thing is badass. If you have not seen this, go to Hallmark, and it is friggin' amazing. We'll zoom in here on it and see if I can't get it to autofocus. There we go. So this is the Hallmark Storytellers 2024 edition Darth Vader ornament stocking hanger set and the Luke Skywalker X-Wing stocking hanger set. So this thing is really cool. Let me get my cable and we'll just hook it up real quick. Now what's funny is if you buy just one, like if you just buy this one, you only get certain sounds and stuff. If you buy just this one, you only get certain sounds. If you buy both of them and connect them both, then you get the entire, not the entire scene, but the majority of the scene. So let's see here. Let me get my cable. And let me move my mic down closer because that's what I learned I had to do in order to get this thing to pick up the audio. So hopefully this audio will pick up. You guys hear that audio? Hopefully so. And there's my buddy Joe Hartley.
What's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
I just saw you were on.
Yeah, figured I'd do something since Spice Runners wasn't on. Evan's taking the night off, taking his. I think he's out in San Francisco because he was at Lucasfilms earlier. So
yeah, he's playing around.
So yeah, I was just getting ready to show this little Hallmark thing again.
Dude, that thing's badass. The noise was really cool.
Yeah, I'd done a review on it, and unfortunately, my first review, I have this new mic. I thought it would pick it up, and it didn't. So now I've learned to put the mic almost dead on top of it, and then I'll play it here in a second, and it'll go through the entire thing. Like what I was saying, if you buy just one, you only get certain sounds. So if you buy this one or this one, you only get certain sounds. But if you get them together and you connect both of them, it plays more sounds that you don't get with either or.
Oh, cool.
So
it's a lot like that Death Star one then, where you had to attach all the characters to it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I'll play that here in a second. But it has lights and all sorts of cool stuff. So animation of the lights. I'll probably have to turn off this. Well, I guess you can see the lights a little bit.
Yeah, you can see it pretty good, actually.
So I'll go ahead and play that here for everybody. Here we go.
This is Red 5. I'm going in. Luke, come on! Are you alright? I got a little cooked, but I'm okay.
Watch yourself. There's a lot of fire coming from the right side of that deflection tower.
I'm on it.
Luke, trust your feelings.
Squad leaders, we've picked up a new group of signals. Enemy fighters coming your way. My scope's negative. I don't see anything.
Take up your visual scanning. Here they come. Watch it. You've got one on your tail. Watch your back, Luke. Watch your back.
I'm hit, but not bad. Oh, see what you can do with it.
This is Gold Leader. We're starting our attack run. Stay in attack formation. Marked and locked in. They're coming in. 3 marks at 210. I'll take them myself. Cover me.
Yes, sir.
It's no good. I can't maneuver.
Stay on target.
We're too close.
Stay on target.
Loosen up.
Go 5 to Red Leader.
Lost Tyree, lost touch.
Came from behind. Big wet. Let's close it up. We're going in. We're going in full throttle.
Right with you, boss. Look, at that speed, will you be able to pull out in time?
Be just like Beggar's Canyon back home. R2, that stabilizer's broken loose again. See if you can't lock it down.
I'm on the leader. Use the force, Luke. Let go. The force is strong in this one. Luke, trust me. His computer's off. Luke, you switched off your targeting computer. What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm all right.
I lost our cue. I have you now. What?
Look out.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home. Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Remember, the Force will be with you. Always.
And that's the end of the animation.
Yeah, that was the whole movie.
Almost.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So what do those pieces cost?
Each one is $100.
Oh,
So you're looking at $200 plus your cable, which is another $15. But if you already have a keepsake cable for other ornaments,
yeah.
obviously you don't need that. But yeah, it's not cheap. Because I mean, even the carbonite and the trash compactor, which I also have, those are like $70.
Dang. Well, my daughter used to
So-
work at Hallmark, so she got me the Death Star and all the characters. So I have no idea what she spent on it.
Hey, Rolando. Yeah, it was one of those, I didn't know what I was getting into, and when I took it up to the counter, I was expecting like $120, and they came up with like 215, and I'm like, what the heck?
You owe
And-
$2,000.
Exactly. So I was like, well, I'll take it home, plug it in. If I like it, I'll keep it. If not, I'll return it.
Yeah, now it's total badass.
So yeah, I mean, it's totally cool. And I know last year I got 2 carbon chambers because those seemed like they were really hard to find. And then I sold one on eBay for I think $25 over what I paid for it. I wasn't trying to get rich off of it. I was just, basically covering my expense of gas to drive to Hallmark.
Yeah, and share with other people. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And I mean, it sold within 24 hours of me putting it up because apparently there was a shortage. Now these are obviously way more expensive, so I'm not going to be doing that with these. But
those are cool.
don't want to be on the line for another $200. So
Yeah, no, I'll have to check with my daughter and see if she's got connections with her old boss.
yeah, it's definitely pretty cool though. So let me switch my camera back here. I'm getting all fancy, man. I got multiple cameras. I got a new blue Logitech. I think it's a Logitech. It's a Yeti. Yeti blue. Yeah, it's a Logitech microphone. I got a boom.
Boom! Here comes the boom.
Kaboom! Exactly.
Yeah, you are all fancy. The fact that you can even run the show. I mean, I push a button and I put someone in timeout all the time.
Well, I'm not the most perfect person to run it, but I try to do what I can. It's hard running it by yourself. I mean, when you have other people, helping, press buttons and talk to the chat. And,
Yeah, like Scott and Jeff and those guys, they all know what they're doing, and I don't have a clue.
exactly.
They got to do damage control when I touch buttons.
when you Thanos snap somebody off into existence.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I just got my zombie Iron Man. Well, it's the Mysterio one.
Sweet.
Yeah, I got it real cheap. I got it off of just like 30% off, and then I had some bucks off Sideshow, so I got it for like 200 and some bucks. And I made the zombie cap, and I have the zombies Doctor Strange. So I was like, oh shit, this will be perfect. So I haven't looked at it yet, but
yeah, I just unboxed earlier. I unboxed what I got from Brett. I won a giveaway on his channel.
Oh, nice.
So he sent that to me, and then I'm entered into this big mysterious prize that's going to happen in 10 days or something like that.
Oh, cool.
So if you don't follow him on YouTube, Cool to Know, I think is the YouTube channel. And then on Twitch, I think it's Cool to Know, and he's doing those giveaways. I think he has, I want to say, 5 or 6 more, and then he's doing the big giveaway, which is supposed to be like over $100, item or something like that.
Nice.
So that'll be pretty cool. I picked this up to go with Bo-Katan the other day at Ollie's. So
you probably got that dirty ass cheap then if it was at Ollie's.
Oh yeah, this is like $3.
Shit, and if they would have had a whole case of them, I'd have probably bought the whole case because that's how stupid I am.
Well, and they probably had, I mean, between the Grief Karga Black Series, the Grand Moff Tarkin Black Series, and then they had one Bo-Katan Black Series, and then the rest of them were like these 3.5 inch.
The retros.
I mean, yeah. I mean, $300 probably could have got you 150 figures. I mean, they were just awesome. But they're all the same, So
yeah, when they do that, they do like case buys and stuff like that. And I don't think all the Ollies are the same. It's kind of like Ross, you get a certain case of certain figures, and it's just kind of luck of the draw where you live.
Yep. Let me add Sean Scruffy looking Stone to the
hey
to the deal. What's up, buddy?
He is.
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. I sound okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
I can hear you guys because Dad has his headphones right here, so I can hear him.
Oh yeah.
You're famous.
Wait, what?
You're famous. Huh?
Did you tell everyone?
Because there's all these people watching you.
Oh. Hello. Hi everyone.
There's no fight runners, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here.
All right.
My
Kick rocks.
lights went out again.
Kick rocks.
Okay.
That means you. Kick rocks. Huh?
He's gonna stay there. Yeah, now you can't beat him.
Yeah, don't no child abuse on live.
Nah, I love this kid.
Hey, nice Jawa there in the background there.
Yeah, I need to turn his eyes on, but
they almost glow right now.
yeah,
You can
almost.
see the eyes.
Yeah, it does.
But
cool.
yeah, I need to get my Black Series. I got all the original 12 Black Series figures, and I got the little stand and everything that was like the the early bird stand for the original 12 back in 79 or
Is that one that
77,
came?
78.
Darth Vader or something came with that, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough. I was down at the largest Star Wars vintage store in North Carolina, which is about 60 miles away, and he had every single figure that I needed to complete that original 12.
Oh, nice.
So like for $110, I got every single one of them.
Yeah, worth it.
So I gotta put the I'm gonna do a shelf somewhere over here on this wall and then put them on there. But a few of them were loose, but most of them were sealed. So like the Jawa with the cloth cape and
Yeah, that's the good one.
R2. And all these are coming out of the package, so I'm sure there's somebody that's going to scream at me later for
Yeah,
doing
that
that.
makes me kind of cringe just a little bit.
But I didn't like the Chewbacca that they released for that, so I got this Black Series Chewbacca, which was better.
Yeah, that's the Empire one, isn't it? Maybe.
I'm not sure. It's the archive version.
Oh, okay.
2015 archive version. But
so that means they had previously released it. It might have been an earlier release at one point in time.
Yeah. And then I got C-3PO with the silver leg and
oh, that's cool.
All that. The Vader that came with the set is this one.
Yeah.
So, and then that shows the.
And then you got Leia, and you got
display.
them all.
Yeah, I got all of them.
Nice.
Now, Han, Luke, and Leia were loose, and then I got the Death Squad commander, the Stormtrooper, and the Tusken was loose too. But they have all their stuff, so I really wasn't worried about it. Oh, Obi-Wan was sealed, I guess. So
yeah, that's cool. I never did get that one.
They will be coming out of their encasements and going up on the stand when I get a chance.
That's cool.
Those are all Black Series?
Yes, all Black Series 6-inch.
Nice.
So, like I said, I couldn't pass up that deal to get. I mean, most Black Series. I mean, heck, even the Obi-Wan on eBay, I think, is pretty good money.
Yeah, they did better on those figures back earlier. I think they had to mix with the cloth and stuff like that.
Let's see. Obi-Wan Black Series. So that particular one, if I can find one, $35 sealed.
Man, that's not terrible.
I think the R2 was the expensive one.
Yeah, that usually is a kind of a higher one.
That's not the same one. That's the Empire Strikes. The Empire Strikes Back version is 24. So this one that I have, which is the 40th, is $40 on Freak Toys and $60 on Amazon. So yeah, I mean, to get all those for $110.
Yeah.
I mean,
good deal.
I couldn't pass it up. So, and I got the stand display. I think those originally sold for like $40. I got that for 10. That came with the Darth Vader and the stand.
Yeah. You, those are pretty cheap when you find them.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. So I've always wanted the original 12, and I'm not going to spend the money on the original 3.75-inch figures. So this was the next best thing. So I think the only original 3.75-inch figure I still have is a Boba Fett. And I bought that in order to do my big Boba Fett print that I don't know if I'm ever going to get that thing together. But
I'm really excited to see it, man.
I may end up sending the dang thing to you and just having you do it.
I could probably do it.
I'm going to go pick up some sanders this weekend or Sunday. I'm getting some Ryobi because I have the Ryobi 18-volt, systems.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a mouth sander and a flat sander, and that way I can sand some of the rough spots where I didn't have enough supports.
Right.
Sand those down, and then it'll be time for paint and primer, and then I got to figure out.
You do some wet sanding and
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about that type of stuff. So
I learned on when I did Sean's K2SO, man. I had a hell of a time with that thing.
But I figure, well, I'll at least sand what I can, and I can't really screw that up. My big thing is let me grab something here real quick. Hang on.
How's your Imperial shuttle paint job going, man?
Good. Today I got the lights to work for the rear, the engine lights.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So now I just ordered some shrink to go around the wires. So
yeah.
Tomorrow I'm gonna because I have a rodeo tomorrow at work with driving.
Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a competition, and I could go to Virginia if I win.
And the kegs are barrels or what?
No, it's in the truck.
Yeah.
No, but no. So tomorrow after that, I'm gonna do the weathering with on the wings. So because I took it off the stand, so now I gotta do the weathering because I have to have the wings up because it's opposite when it comes down.
Yeah.
So I have to do all four sides.
Yeah.
And then I have to do the gray stripe down the middle of the cab. And then put the window in. But once I get all that done, I can put it on the actual stand and put the lights together. And
that's badass, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's really coming together, man. When I saw the lights glow up today, and I was like, oh shit, this thing's gonna be badass. You know what I mean? Like it's just cool because you know what I mean. Like I've been working on it for so long.
Yeah.
And it's winding down towards the end here. Because I still have to paint the big fin goes on top.
Yeah. I'm excited for you, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm excited for myself too.
What'd you all just hear?
Oh, there he's back.
Yep.
We were talking about my shuttle that I'm building.
Yeah.
Oh, Tidarium?
Yeah. No, the Imperial shuttle. I mean,
it would be like the Tidarium.
It's different though because it's painted. It's got the stripes down the middle for the Emperor.
Oh, and Emperor. So it's got the gray stripe down the middle.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. It's got all the same paint scheme except for the front.
Right. So, that'll be sweet.
Yeah, it's I've been working on it for, I would say 2 months now.
So is that like a vintage shuttle, or is that something you 3D printed, or
Merlin's, isn't it? Merlin
model, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it through I got it from George. So and it's not been a very easy model to put together, but it's very simple when you look at it. But all the pieces and things weren't kind of going together like they should.
Yep.
And so a lot of stuff I had to kind of do on the fly and just, I'm learning. So putting this all together and then I paint. I'm like, oh shit, this is wrong. So I paint over again with my airbrush. I go, okay. And then I fix it. So it's just, it's been fun though. And that's the important part.
Yeah. Having fun doing it, man.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Boba Fett leg.
Holy cow!
God, that's fucking cool.
And I haven't pushed it all the way in, so you see the gaps, because I'm afraid if I push it all the way in, I ain't never getting that thing out.
Yeah.
So, but I think I'll still have to fill in some seams, because obviously it's not going to fit all the way. So it'll be neat once I get it done, but it's something I've never done before, so I'm kind of hesitant about doing it.
Does that
Just
all-
do it.
Does that have to be sanded?
It looks like the back of the leg does there.
Yeah, the back of the leg, like under here. Let's see if I can get the camera to.
Is that resin?
No, it's FDM.
That's his
So
bamboo, man. He's got
Yeah,
a
I
badass
see.
printer.
Right there needs to be sanded, but I mean, you really can't see. Let me get my
No.
mic out of the way. Let me move my mic so you can see the lights.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
See, like here, it needs to be sanded.
Yeah, you might have to do some filler putty there too or something.
Right there. But I mean, otherwise, you can't really see any layer lines.
No,
That's
that's
cool.
beautiful.
They're still there, and you could probably smooth it a little bit if you wanted to, but it may not need it, at least as much as some models do.
Yeah.
And I could probably get by with just sanding those rough edges, and then doing like a filler primer.
Yeah.
That would kind of fill it in, and then just do a quick, hand sand over it, and then filler primer again. You probably wouldn't be able to see any layer lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way this thing is in there, it has. See, like I'd have to sand that down. That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But it all just kind of keys in here. But I'm afraid to push it all the way up in there because I don't think I'll ever get it back out. In fact, I already broke the head on one.
Oh no!
So
is that file that you got from me?
Yeah. No, this is one I got. I found it online.
Oh, I might need a link for that.
I think it was on Etsy. Is where I got it.
Yeah, I might need a link for that, man.
But the way that the helmet and stuff is, and the way these things go together, I'm not super impressed with. But it's not bad. It's just I'm just not used to it. Let me grab these pieces here. So this was the first helmet I did. And I thought I was going to be smart they had a separate piece right here, and I thought I was going to be smart by putting that in there and merging it in the software so it printed all together. Well, these are the pieces that connect all the parts. So these go in this hole, and you're supposed to glue them, and then you lock them in. And these twists so you can have some movement. The problem is I put this thing in the head the way it was supposed to go, and I dropped it, and the damn thing went all the way up in the head.
Oh.
So I had to try to fish this little thing out of that hole.
You had to cut a hole in the bottom of the chin there?
So I cut a hole in the bottom of the chin in order to get it out. Now, originally, the way it's designed is this piece is separate. So when I reprinted the head, I have the head shell, and then I have this piece separate, and then you're supposed to, glue it and weld it together.
Yeah.
So I got to do that. But this is the one that I had this is the waist piece.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And my plexiglass that I had on my scout troopers fell. And let's see that area right
took
there.
A little chunk out of it?
Took a chunk out of it.
Wow.
So another 18 hours and I have another one. So, but, and it came out pretty much identical. On the bottom here, you're going to have to sand it a little bit.
There's not much there. You got to really do have. That's amazing how cool that is. Yeah, you can see the swirls.
But you got a P1S, didn't you?
Yeah, I still haven't put it together.
The hell's wrong with you?
Well, I got 4 printers running right now, and they keep me busy.
Yeah.
You need to get that going.
I know, it's pathetic, isn't it?
I got to get my printer going.
Yeah, we need to FaceTime on that.
No, I still have to get the paper, and Sean keeps forgetting to bring over my little USB.
Oh
So,
yeah.
And I still have to download the program too to my laptop here.
Oh yeah.
So, but we'll get it going. I mean, I know Sean's been wanting those Death Star tiles.
Oh
But
yeah.
he wants the big ones. And I think you have the file for those, right?
Yeah, they're not terribly bad either when you find them, but I think I do have them somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he doesn't, I do.
You can get change them in size.
You
I
would
don't
enlarge
know if
them.
you're gonna make a big one on your printer though. You'd have to
On
section
my
that thing out.
What's that?
on
He's got a Saturn 2.
okay.
So yeah, it's a resin printer. You'd have to section those out to get a big plate.
What's your plate size?
It's like 9 inches by about 5 inches, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. See, mine's 9 by 9.
Yeah, it's not a. Yeah, you're talking about the bamboo one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the resin one's a little different. It's more like a cell phone looking rectangle.
So how big can I get then?
I don't know. It depends. I'd have to play around with it on my file because I have the same one. You would have to section it in 4 pieces and angle it at a 45, and that'll get you some more distance there, but not giant.
No, he just wants them. I think whatever the big ones were.
I don't know what the scale was for those.
No, he would have to tell me because they did 2 different sizes for the Death Star. They did the small one for the small.
Yeah.
For the trench, and then they did one for the trench, that big trench run.
Yeah.
So
they had a bunch of different size stuff in there when you look at the movie and kind of pause it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of their scales are way different. So you'd have to scale some things.
Yep.
But anyways, I was just going to jump on for a little bit, guys, and say hi, and didn't want you to be on your own. Sean's here now, so
no, I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, that's why I decided to come on too. I was like, well, Joel's on there, and I figured, we can bullshit. So
yeah, I got the wife downstairs though, so I told her I wasn't going to be on, so I didn't want to be on too long. So
way to go, Joel. Way to go.
Thanks for the invite, though, Justin. I didn't want you to be on your own though, so.
Oh, absolutely. I was just, I figured, well, since we're not having Spice Runners, maybe I'll hop on, get some people to show up.
Yeah, this is badass, man.
Kind of hang out for a little bit.
I'll be watching though. So thanks for having me on for a little bit though, man.
Hey, no problem. Anytime.
See you later, Sean. I'll be expecting a call from you soon.
Yeah, I'm busy this weekend, so most likely I won't have Jameson next weekend, so probably next weekend, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
just let me know, man.
Will do.
You guys have fun. Have a good weekend.
Later, bro.
Bye. Later, Joe. Yeah, let me let my dog out here real quick.
Go ahead.
I think the wifey just got home, so
no worries, man. No worries.
All I gotta do is let him out. He'll go find her. So.
Oh.
But so,
are you planning to? Are you going to send that to Joel? That Boba Fett?
I don't know. I really want to try it myself because I'm afraid if I don't try it myself, I'll never do another one.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that's $150 worth of printed plastic.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to have to print again if I don't need to. And I know like Joel and Rex and a lot of those guys, they know how to repair stuff if they screw it up. I don't. So I'm trying to decide what to do. Originally, it was a kind of a test commission. for the guy that owns the largest Star Wars shop in North Carolina, where I got my Black Series figures and stuff from for that great price. And originally he wanted a 6 foot tall one.
Wow.
Which is what the files were originally designed for.
Mm-hmm.
But after I looked up how much filament and time it was going to take to print that size, I told him, I was like, let me try a 4 foot version and see if you like that. If you like that, then, you know, you can commission me to do the 6 foot version. But I said, you're looking at, you know, big money to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because to do the 6 foot version, it's about 30 rolls of filament.
And that's how much?
Roughly $20 a roll.
Wow. That's
So $500 basically just in filament.
yeah.
You know, $500-600.
That's not including paint and everything else.
Exactly, and print time and everything else. So you know, I told him, hey Sergio, I told him that if he wanted to do that, I would do it, but let me do the 4 foot version first and see if you even like it. Because there's nothing I hate more than somebody saying, yeah, I want to do it. And then they spend all this money, or I spend all the time doing it. And they're like, I really don't like it.
Right.
So, you know, I don't like wasting anybody's time, and I don't like wasting my own time. So I told him, let me do the 4 foot version and we'll see what happens. And
So
he didn't give me a time frame or anything. He goes, just whenever you get it, you know, done.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna do completely like paint, you know, put together paint, primer.
Yeah,
paint,
when it gets done, it's going to look just like the original vintage figure.
Oh, okay.
So
No,
I said, I'm not going to do the purplish blue. I'm going to do more of a matte gray for his pants and stuff. And then, but all the other colors will be very close, if not identical to what is on the original figure. Because I actually have the paint codes that I need for those for a certain type of paint. I just have to order it. And that's about $120 worth of paint. So,
yeah.
But you know, I have to get it sanded and glued and whatnot first, and then I can start with the paint. I'm trying to decide if it's probably better to sand it and finish it and primer it before and actually paint it before I kind of glue it together. Because I'm afraid once I glue it together, there's going to be harder places to get to that I may need to get to.
Yep.
And like I said, it may never come back apart.
Yep.
So that's my fear on the whole thing is, you know, I spend all this time and money on it, and then I end up having to reprint an entire leg or something like that. And it's like, at that point, I'm out. You know, It's like, I don't want to go through all that work.
Well, with paint, it's pretty. No matter if you messed up or not, paint's easy to fix. You just paint right back over it.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what I do with all these models. You know what I mean? Like I paint. I go, oh, I don't like this. I just go back at the base coat, paint, and you know, kind of do it that way. And then I go back and do it correctly or better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one good thing about painting.
Well, see, I'm not a painter, so this is all new for me. From the sanding to the painting, finishing. I normally just, you know, that's why I have a multicolor printer, so I can do you know, cool little stuff like this, and I don't have to touch a paintbrush. You know.
Well, I use paintbrushes, but I use my airbrush a lot. So the shuttle is all airbrush.
Yeah.
So that's that's the primer and the base coat and whatever paint I'm putting on.
I haven't touched an airbrush since high school, so
It's been a learning experience for me, that's for sure. So
I mean, I hear it's not as hard as it used to be because they've really kind of updated the airbrushes and stuff to where it's they're not as finicky. But I'm assuming it's similar to anything else. It all depends on how much you know and what you're working with.
Well, it's with these paints, especially I use Archive X. They get dry tip a lot. So, and dry tip really makes painting not fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just it gets difficult because you have to key and continuously clean, and then go back to painting. But I've got a process down now. So if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it's just one of those things I'm not accustomed to, and I mean I can do rep and buff. I did that, and it turned out great. But obviously on something like this, you don't do that type of stuff. So it'll just be a learning curve, and I'll either screw it up and end up sending it to Rex or Joel to finish, or I'll knock it out of the park. I think those are the only two options.
Well, I think you'll be all right, man. I mean, like I said, it's just having a fun doing it. I mean, you're going to be rattle canning it.
I'll be rattle canning the primer, and the other paints I believe either come in a bottle, or I think you can get them in a spray too. And what I'll do is I'll just mask off a painter's tape or something, and then I'll rattle can the certain color or whatnot, because I mean even the colors on the figure weren't perfect.
No.
So I think I can get by with most of that. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we'll just see what happens.
I think you'll do great, man. I think you'll do great. I don't see you not failing on it, man. I mean, that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, Rex says we can split the profits. I don't know if there's going to be any profit in it. That's the thing. Like I said, originally it was supposed to be, kind of a test piece to see if this guy wanted to do a 6-foot one. And he goes, well, I'll buy the 4-foot one or whatnot. But, I haven't pushed it because I'm still waiting on sanders and paints and everything else. So I could only get so much at one time. I wasn't going to go drop, $500-600 and then be like, okay, now I can do it. I just couldn't do it. So
Right.
I'm taking it step by step by step. But
Rex is he's pretty talented, man. Especially with painting, I think he does a fantastic job in all his projects. He does amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because like I said, it's painting is something that I was never good at either. But I just trial by error. Just does that look good? Well, you know what I mean. And then I go back to watching YouTube, trying to figure out like, okay, how does this person do it? How's that person do it?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
well, and I've talked to Rex quite a bit on the phone, and he's told me, certain things that I can do and what to try and whatnot. And I think it's more of my mental block than it is, not having the knowledge, or at least knowledgeable people around to help. It's more of, holy crap, can I really do this? Do I really want to try this? Or
yeah. I mean, that's a simple paint. So, I mean, it's not like it's, it's like maybe 6-7 different colors, maybe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. Maybe 8 colors.
Yeah, and then put a little weathering in there to kind of like get the shadows of it, maybe a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Like a wash.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what some people have recommended is first doing it exactly like the vintage figure, where it's all clean, and then seeing how I like it. And if I don't like it, then to take some of that black wash acrylic and just cover the entire thing and just start wiping it.
Yeah.
You know,
You just do piece by piece, you know, start with the helmet, you know.
right.
So yeah, I mean, because I use washes too, you know what I mean? Like it's just like for panel lining and you know that kind of thing. It just brings out the detail a little more.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess you'd have to paint it and then you know see if you actually do like it. I mean, because I have the original vintage figure of myself from when I was a kid. It's in my Darth Vader case over there. But it's I mean, granted, it doesn't have a lot of I guess detail as far as like you know super shadows.
He has almost all of the Star Wars characters inside of that little like Darth Vader.
Really, I don't have every single one of them. That doesn't fit all of them.
You definitely have a lot of.
Well, thanks, Jameson.
You have covered most of them.
Yeah. I got a lot of them too. I don't have a lot of the originals. A lot of my originals went to a cousin that who knows what he did with them. But I have a couple, but most of them are long gone. So
yeah. So my son's bringing over the Vader case right now.
Cool. Just trust me. It's pretty cool. There it is.
Oh yeah, I used to have one of those. Yep.
So this is one I had when I was a kid. You can see all like my movie sticker. I had Vader here at one point. These were like the water decal.
Yeah.
I don't know why I put Buzz on here, but whatever. There's another water decal up here.
This thing was like, this thing's tactful.
Yeah, I've got probably 2 figures per each slot.
Yeah.
Unless the Gamorrean guard, he fits by himself because he's too big.
Yeah, he's too big.
But yeah, I mean, most of the figures I do have are between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So
yeah, I had.
Go ahead.
I had Empire and Return of the Jedi, and I had a lot of the vehicles and stuff from both of those. I never had the Falcon. I never had a Snowspeeder, and I never had an AT-AT, but I had the Ewok Village. I had the Y-Wing, the A-Wing, the X-Wing, the TIE Fighters, the TIE Interceptor, the Vader's TIE. Now, the original X-Wing and the original Landspeeder and the original Droid Factory, I actually got from my cousin who had them as a kid, and we were only 5-6 years apart. So he got them in 77, 78 when they came out, and then I got them in 1980 basically. So they had been played with, but not to the point of being destroyed.
Right.
So it was really nice to be able to have those. Especially, I wish I still had them now, because I had like the Farm Boy Luke, the original Obi-Wan, the Jawa, C-3PO, R2. I mean, all the originals, I had. And then all the Empire and ROTJ I bought, when I was a kid. Man, I wish I would have kept some of that stuff. I know the Y-Wing got blown up with a shotgun. Because I distinctly remember that, because it had some missing pieces to it that I'd lost over the years. And one day as a teenager, I think I had told my friend to throw it. We were doing skeet shooting, and I blew that thing into 1,000 little pieces. It was spectacular, but now looking back, I'm like, why did I do that?
Poor Y-Wing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those aren't going for much now, but they're going for more than nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had the X-Wing, the TIE Fighter. I did have the Ewok Village. I had the Landspeeder. I had the Dewback, obviously, which I don't have anymore. I had the Wampa. I'm trying to think, and I had the one vehicle, the one that had the wheels that went like this for Empire.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it. And I think I had one more of those vehicles. I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know what happened to all of them. So
I know I had the transport, not the Rebel transport, but the Imperial transport, like the one they had in Mandalorian. That was kind of a carrying case as well.
Yep. I remember.
I had that. I had this weird looking thing. It had like 2 robot arms, and it had suction cups on the bottom of the legs, and it had like a bubble top, and it had one little cannon out the front. It was like a Hoth accessory or something like that. Something you never saw in the movies.
Yeah.
I had that. I had I call it the satellite laser dish, that kind of explodes. You press a button and the whole thing falls apart.
Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, that's what I had.
Yeah.
The dish, right?
Yep.
With the gun. Yeah. Yep. I had that. Yeah. Yep.
It wasn't not the white turret, but the actual radar, the thing that looked like an old C-band satellite dish.
Yes, I had the same one. Yes.
Yep. I had that. There was several other little pieces that I had, but at that time, between Empire and ROTJ, I had lots of G.I. Joes. I had Mask. I had all sorts of stuff. I never got into He-Man. My cousin was into Motu more than I was.
Yeah.
I'd watch the cartoons, but I never got any of the toys.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had all that stuff in my grandmother's basement for safekeeping. And then when my grandmother passed away, I wasn't able to get home prior to them cleaning out the storage unit in the basement. And I would say all, if not 99% of those toys were tossed.
Oh,
and they were all from the 80s. I mean, Motu, G.I. Joe, Mask, Star Wars. I bet you if that hadn't happened and I was able to go through it before they cleaned that out, I bet you there was easily $5,000 or $6,000 worth of toys down there. Even in pieces, there were, heck, a gun for a Star Wars character is friggin' $100.
Yeah.
And G.I. Joe's about as bad. So,
I have Yoda. I'm missing I think I still have the snake, but I don't have his robe, and I think I have his belt. But but I'm missing the robe, so I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I have to look because I have in the little Darth Vader case at the little door with all the stuff. That's where all the weapons are inside there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're right. I mean, these toys were cool as all get out, and then as our childhood, as we've gotten older, you know what I mean. And then you wanted to get those back when your grandma passed away, and they were all tossed away. And and that I think that's what my parents did, was toss some of those away. You know what I mean? Because they thought, obviously it was well played with, so they thought it was junk. And I'm sure they asked me, hey, I got some toys, and I probably didn't even think about my Star Wars ones because I already had my Star Wars case already with me. So I think they had this other stuff and they threw it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I recently, when I went back to Kansas for her funeral, actually, it was last March, I think.
Right.
I was tasked with cleaning out the storage unit that I had with my parents, and because they were just tired of paying on it. So we spent 2 days and cleaned it out. And I had forgotten that for 30 years, I had a lot of stuff in boxes that were just sitting in a storage unit. And so I went through a lot of it, and I have already sold almost $500 worth of stuff that I don't want, but I put it on eBay and other people wanted it. I found some G.I. Joe pieces because, those O-rings always broke.
Mm-hmm.
And had been sitting in a storage box for 30 years. So in 110 degree plus heat in a metal storage unit. So some of the stuff was trash, but I took a lot of those, legs and waists and arms and heads and guns and put them all in a plastic Ziploc baggie, took them down to the Toy Federation down in South Carolina. and they have an amazing vintage toy store down there, and they have a YouTube channel and whatnot. It's really cool. And I took that in there, and they take trades and stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a Ziploc baggie about yay big, full of just parts and pieces, and I just handed it to them like, I don't know what's in here. I don't know what it's worth. And they took 30 minutes and looked through it, and they said, we'll give you $100 for all of it.
Wow.
And it was stuff that you literally would have tossed.
Wow.
You know,
well, I mean, that's good. $100.
Yeah. So, I mean, they used it to complete other characters that they were missing parts for. There was weapons or something in there, you know, it was worth something.
Right.
So it just goes to prove that even broken toys are worth something to somebody.
Yeah.
You just have to know what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm sure they parted it out and used it to complete characters and then sold those characters or whatever. I mean, that's what they do. So that was really cool to see them. But
I know Jameson's going to be lucky because I got all this stuff behind me. So whenever I'm gone, if he wants to keep it,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
well, and that's what, you know, that's what I think is different about our generation is, you know, if we don't pass on this stuff to a generation that cares about it, it doesn't matter how much money I've spent on hot toys and helmets and statues, and it's all going to be trashed.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Unless we're lucky enough that some of the young guys, you know, here that watches, you know, they want some of it, you know, and then they have to get in touch with our loved ones and be like, hey, I know Justin had this, or I know he had that. Is that, you know, available for sale? You know, so hey, have a good night, Rex. Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Later, Rex.
So, you know, after that, there's not maybe one more generation behind us that actually cares about this stuff.
Well, especially the original trilogy, you know what I mean? Like I really push it on my kid because, you know, that's where my enjoyment was. I mean, most of my collection is original trilogy. It's, you know, there's very few, you know, I have some Mando pieces and some Mando hot toys, but for the most part, everything is original trilogy. So, you know, I push it down his throat, you know, and hopefully, like, as he gets older, he'll appreciate what I tell him about each piece that I have, because I'm very much into lineage pieces. I like having lineage pieces because I feel like it's part of the movie.
Yep.
So, but I hope for one day that he'll get enjoyment out of it. I know he's listening to me right now, but I know you can. I say this because I want you to be able to, you know, enjoy this stuff when I'm gone, because, you know, there's not too many people that, you know, are our age that, you know, saw these in the original form and when they came out in the theater. So,
yep.
But
and when he gets to our age, it's going to be even harder to find, especially the vintage stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
These I'm surprised half of these toys have survived as long as they have. I mean, 30, 40 years, and they're plastic. They're not like the old metal toys that our grandparents had.
Yeah,
you know, like Tonka trucks and stuff like that. I mean, you could beat those things with a dang sledgehammer and still have something there.
Yeah.
You hit one of these or drop one of these nowadays, I mean, they shatter. Plastic's just not meant for that.
No. And well, these toys, I mean, I threw them through the ringer, so I mean, a lot of them they still survive. You know what I mean? But you know, the toys today that they make, I mean, obviously it's not as good as plastic, I don't think, as we had back in the 70s and 80s. But
they're not designed to play with; they're designed to display.
Right. Well, hot toys, like I said, you know, I actually get out there and I actually move them around and position them how I want to position them, because that's what they're meant to do. So
yeah,
put them in a museum pose, and I'm like, don't do that. Make them do something.
Yeah, I have some of mine set up. The only one that really disappointed me was the Ahsoka, and I broke her arm the first 5 seconds I had her.
I sold mine.
So I got a Dremel, and I dremeled out the little piece that was snapped off, and I was able to find a replacement piece, and glued it in there, and I'm able to move the arm. In the meantime, I got a separate body, so it's all brand new body and whatnot. But the joint on that arm was vapor locked from the moment that I had it.
Oh wow.
So
Which figure? Which one was it?
The DX.
Oh, so the Mando version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I sold mine. So
let me see if I can do this here.
yeah, I see it there. I see Luke and
There, right here.
oh yeah, I see her.
Right there with Cad Bane and whatnot. But yeah, her left arm, I tried to bend her elbow and snap.
Yeah, that's not good.
And so, like I said, I got an extra body for her. I never did use the extra body. I just have it in storage in case something does happen to it. But I have Ahsoka the Grey coming. I have the new Stormtrooper coming. And that's it for Hot Toys. And I don't even know if I'm going to keep Ahsoka the Grey. I might end up selling this one and keeping Ahsoka the Grey, but I think I'm going to go more trilogy type stuff, just because that's what I fell in love with. The shows are cool. I mean, I got Anakin with his saber, and then Luke with his saber, and then these are all CFL. Let me see if I can turn them on here.
Yeah, the only Hot Toys I got coming, I got the Dewback and the Sandtrooper. So that's all I got coming. What's that?
Those will be cool. I said those will be cool.
Yeah, because I have Joel's Tauntaun that he made for Collection Wars, and he has the Wampa right now that he made me. I sent it back to him. He's gonna fix it.
So let's see. There's the. Let me move the camera over. So there you can see the CFL sabers I got for Luke and Anakin.
Yep.
And then for Luke and Vader down at the bottom. Chris D. Gunzelman.
Yeah.
Is who I got those from.
Yeah, I've been following him for years. I'm not
He
too much into.
He does good work.
Oh yeah, the lightsabers are awesome that he does.
They're just not cheap, and I think that was the thing that, of course, I got 4 of them for basically the price of a hot toy.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more. I'd still like to get 2 for my Ahsoka, but that's another, $200-$300.
Yeah.
So basically, a hot toy gets you 2 light up sabers. Which again isn't bad if you're displaying that type of stuff. I'm glad I don't have more Jedi, because I would want all of them to have light up sabers, and I can't do that.
Unfortunately, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have only 4 that would have lightsabers. I have 3 Mauls.
Oh wow!
2 Vaders that have their lightsabers out, but I mean, you can see them kind of.
Oh yeah.
So, but I've got a module case on order. The one behind me right there is a module case, but I have another one that's going to go right there. So it's going to take a lot of my life size busts and some of my helmets and ships that I'm building inside there, and then I'll mix them up with a hot toy kind of next to them and whatnot. So
sweet.
Kind of mix the scales up a little bit.
Yep.
So
yeah, I have a few more things coming, but I just don't have the space.
Yeah.
So I think on this side, and my room's still my Star Wars room's a mess, but you can sort of see this side. I have some blank wall space where I can put shelves and stuff. I got that studio scale X-Wing from 4 slabs.
Mhm.
And when they come out with the Darth Vader tie, supposedly it's going to have a Death Star base that matches the X-Wing. Because I missed out on the TIE Fighter.
Mhm.
So I'm going to get the Vader tie, and it will be similar to my Hallmark deal. So that'll be kind of cool. And then I have a Stormtrooper bust coming from a Trooper helmet.
Nice.
So it's a full helmet, full chest, shoulders.
Mhm.
And that'll be about probably the extent of the big things I'm going to have. Because I just don't have the space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if I was, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. I'm lucky. I live in a 3-bedroom condo, and it's just me and my kids. So, it's all Star Wars, down here. So, I can pretty much do what I want here. I have my other room upstairs, which I've even thought about moving my model stuff out in the garage. Only problem with the garage, it's hot out there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I just don't want to put all the stuff out there. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm building the models and everything. But I have 3 tables up there, but I also have other collection stuff up in there too. So whatever doesn't get previewed down here goes up there.
Yep.
But yeah, I got a few more big things. There's a few more things that I want that are kind of big, but most of the stuff that I've been purchasing is the maquettes that Tom does. And I'm very picky on which ones I pick. I don't buy every single one of them. I picked the creatures that I love and fell in love with as a kid. So
Yep.
those are the ones that I am buying, which is a lot of them, obviously. You know what I mean? Because he's been doing all the popular ones. I've got Klaatu, Weegway, Bib Fortuna, the Rancor. I got Max Rebo, of course, because I love Max Rebo band. So,
Well, you ought to be looking forward to Skeleton Crew then, because there's supposed to be a Max Rebo style character in there.
yeah, but I'm not. I got rid of my Disney Plus, so I didn't even watch the Acolyte. I didn't even give it a chance. I didn't even care. I'm gonna, like Scott says, I'm in the original trilogy bubble, and I'm just gonna stay here and stay on this spot of it. I don't. The only thing that I will do is because I love Andor and it was great. I love the show, so I will resubscribe for that show only. And then once the show is over, I will recancel.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, they just haven't made anything good. With Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and then Ahsoka, they just all tanked for me. And I just can't get invested in these shows. It's Disney Star Wars, and then you look at the sequel trilogy, which they ruined that too. So for me, I just had enough. You know what? I can't deal with it no more. So I pretty much gave up on it. So now I just, like I said, I live in this bubble. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And to me, I think that's the important part anyway, because I can go back and watch the originals anytime, and I still get enjoyment like the first time I seen it. Every time I watch it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I've probably seen it a million times. You think the greatest thing about owning that movie, especially the originals, is you go back and you watch it and you see something new all the time. I see something new like throughout all these years. I always see something new, and I'm like, man, that's badass. You know what I mean? And like when, let's say Tom does something, and you're like, holy cow, I remember that. You know what I mean? And you're just like, wow, this is crazy. But that's kind of where I lie. And, but that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like everybody else has their way they want to, enjoy Star Wars. I'm not going to hate on anybody that wants to enjoy it. Just not for me.
No. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to hate anybody that wants to enjoy it.
Yeah.
and I'm like you. I constantly see new things, even though I've seen the movies 100,000 times.
Yeah.
I still see new things. I think it's because being a collector in today's age versus collecting as a kid, you're just looking for the cool toys as a kid. Now you're looking at the details of what you're collecting. And then you go back in the movie and you're like, oh, they actually put that detail on that ship. I didn't notice that before.
Yeah.
Or that little paint stripe or that little grunge area, in the greebly. You're like, I didn't notice that before, but now I have, something that has that. So now you look for it. It's kind of like when you go buy a new car. Nobody ever sees a Ford Explorer until you own the damn thing. And then you see 10,000 Ford Explorers in one day.
Exactly. Yeah.
But nobody ever sees one until you own one. And then you're like, holy crap, I didn't know everybody had one of these. So.
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's this hobby, and I tell you, it's a great hobby to be into, but it's also a hobby that, can be destructive too.
It's a money pit, I always tease my fiance that it's like, well, I'm 47 years old. My midlife crisis was not a $60,000 to $80,000 sports car, and I definitely haven't spent that much on Star Wars stuff, but I'm collecting something that I enjoy. She might not like it. She might think it's silly, but I enjoy it. And that's who I'm buying it for, is me. If I kick off tomorrow and she can make, a couple $1,000s off the stuff that I got because it's still fairly, new and collectible, great. If not, pass it on to my nephew. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm buying it for me. I'm not buying it for anybody else to be like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you got that. Or, I'm buying this because Eben has it, or I'm buying this because Sean has it, or I'm buying this because Rex has it. I don't care. If I want it for me, that's what I buy.
Exactly.
I've always wanted a full-size Stormtrooper. I don't really have the room for one, even though I can get one for basically $1,000 plus a $400 or $500 mannequin from I forget the name of the company now. Eben's mentioned them several times, but you can get a full costume, for $1,000 basically that you can wear around. And I would love to have one, but I just don't have the room. So the next best thing was, when trooperhelmet.com came on the show that one time, he goes, hey, I do bus. And so I emailed him and asked him, like, how much is something like that? And he told me, and he's like, dude, you don't have to put any money down. You get on my order list. When I get ready to make it, I will contact you, make sure you still want it, and then we'll move forward. And I'm like, perfect. Because there's nothing I hate more than sending $500-$600 to Sideshow or to HasLab and not getting it for 2 years. Because that money's gone. It's not like, you have any recourse against them. You can't go to your credit card company 3 years later and be like, I never got this item. Credit card company's going to be like, why'd you wait 3 years?
Well, I mean, that's happened to me. I bought from Anavos, and Anavos screwed me over about $3,000. So that kind of sucked. But I'm waiting for one more helmet. They originally did the Death Trooper, and it was for $700, and they took me for $700. And then a year later they went out of business.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Took my money, and then I was supposed to get a full Stormtrooper kit, and they took all that money too. I never saw nothing. And then Duo Nuovo took over, and I reached out to them because they said they were going to make it right for pass, and So they gave me the option for the Stormtrooper kit. They said, well, when it's ready, we can. I was like, I don't want it anymore. So and then they said, well, we can send you 3 helmets that we have in stock. So I got the Imperial Guard helmet, the Mando helmet, which is behind me up here, which is right there.
Yep.
And then the Shore Trooper helmet, which I ended up selling. So I got that back in return. That kind of took that away. And so now I'm just waiting on the Death Trooper helmet, which I haven't heard nothing. You know what I mean? But they're taking pre-orders for other things and still not coming out with the Death Trooper helmet. So I don't know what's going on. So I mean,
it's hard to tell with some of these companies. I hate to knock on companies because they are giving us stuff that we want and we love, but at the same time, get your shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we treated our customers like that, we wouldn't be in business very long.
Well, that's the hard part. The Star Wars community, it's been like this. I mean, EFX did that for a long time too. You know what I mean? And then finally, Brian passed away. Brian's a nice guy. He's great. And they finally come out this Legend, biker scout. I never ordered one, but I ended up getting one because everybody canceled. I bought one. I was like, I liked it, and I ended up getting it. But I talked to EFX this last weekend at Comic-Con, and and they're producing stuff, which is cool, and I'm glad they are. And I told them I'm an original trilogy guy, OG, and I would like to see more of that stuff, And we talked about the AT-AT they had there. It was kind of like all sitting lopsided on the little wood stand, which I guess is supposed to give the archive look. But I told him, I was like, well, I mean, I'm not a fan of that look because I don't want it with how it's sat in the archives.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'd rather have it like on an armature, like, a metal armature that, looks like, they're set up for the movies.
Right.
I mean, to me, I think that would be more authentic. But I said, that's just my opinion. I gave it to him. I was like, look, you know what I mean? I think that's, fair enough. I mean, I said, collector, I said, ships are huge. If you guys could do ships, you could have a license for it. People, there's an appetite for it.
Oh, yeah. There's a line 300,000 miles long of people that want ships.
Well, I told them, I was like, well, the reason why I build models now is because I get my own ships.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I get to build them, and I have fun doing it. So that's kind of the main reason why I do it. So, but
well, and the thing is especially with ships, they have to be affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved NYC stuff. I mean, it was excellent. I just personally couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Now I know a lot of people that have them and they love them and they can afford it, and that's awesome. But that's why I'm glad Force Labs is doing what they're doing. Now, granted, it's polystone versus 3D printed and painted really well and whatnot, but the detail that Force Labs has been doing with some of their stuff is really good, and their price point's decent. I mean, is it great? That's in the eye of the beholder. A guy that has $4,000 to $5,000 extra cash every month can go get something more. A guy that has $200 or $300 extra a month, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if you go the studio scale route, I mean, that is expensive, way more expensive than any other. That's even more expensive than EFX's way of doing it, because you're getting actually a full studio scale, and and these things take time. I mean, I spent a lot of time, like I said, building these things. Like the Bandai ones are so simple and easy. I mean, you can build those in a few hours. But I mean, like for instance, this shuttle. I mean, it's basic, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's big and it's there's a lot of detail in the painting when you really think about it. I was like, man, it's just, whatever, I thought it was white. It's actually gray, the show.
Yes.
So it's a mix between reefer white and concrete. So it's 50-50 mix. So it's like gray, which I always thought it was white, which obviously we always thought the AT-AT was white. It's actually gray. So, yeah, I just, you get in that studio scale, you're talking, $5,000 to $6,000, $7,000 depending.
Or more.
Yeah, or more, depending on who you have doing it, you know what I mean, and who's painting it. So I mean, yeah, that was great that NYC was doing it, but they just didn't have the license. That's the hard.
Well, I think Frankie brings up a good point. What's more important to you, screen accuracy or the general feel of the ship? Does it look like an X-Wing, or does it have the actual little paint chips where, Luke scuffed his boot in A New Hope, when he was climbing up the ladder? As long as it looks like an X-Wing, I'm happy camper.
Yeah. Well, and for me, like when I'm building, I like to look at reference photos, you know what I mean? And granted, I like to put my own spin on it. So
Right.
I follow, but I don't follow. You know what I mean? So I kind of do.
Yep.
I still want to have my artist form to what I'm painting. You know what I mean? So granted, yeah. Am I going to put every paint chip where his paint chip is? Probably not. But the basic all-around colors are going to be the right color.
Right.
They're going to be, the panels are going to be the colors that they are. I might have rust in an area that, might not be where it's supposed to be. But that's just, like I said, that's my artist idea of like thinking, okay, maybe I'll put it here. Granted, people will go, that's Luke Skywalker, that's Red 5, because all I have to do is look at the stripes and go, that's Red 5. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
So if it looks like an X-Wing, I agree. If it looks like an X-Wing and whatnot, I mean, some of these guys, they talk about, because, obviously they have two versions. They have the pyro, and then they have the stunt, which is, obviously close camera, ones that blew up. So, right. And obviously, their noses are all different. You know what I mean? So, and I got a 129 scale Revell, which, that's pretty big. You know what I mean? It's going to be, yay big. So I'm sure it's not completely accurate, but, I'm going to paint it and I'm going to make it look like Red 5, and hopefully, and I think it'll turn out awesome. So, that's I think the important part is that, obviously it's for me. It's not for anybody else. It's like, for instance, you collect for you. I collect for me. I build for me. So I think that's what everyone else does. If you're in to collect for everybody else, you're in the wrong groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not a collector. You're a keeping up with the Joneses.
Right.
And you ain't gonna be able to compete with some of these guys. I can tell you that right now.
Nope.
So some of these guys spend more than a month on collections than what you will in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, right.
That's just not the game that you should be getting into. You should buy it for what you want it for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's where some of the enabling comes in. But it is what it is. I've been enabled by George and Eben and some of the other guys, and be like, oh man, that's really cool. And you look at it and you're like, yeah, it's cool, but do I really need it? And then by the end of the show, you're ordering the damn thing because they're like hyping it up, and you're like, what the hell? But when I first started watching Spice Runners and Hyperdrive and a lot of these other shows and stuff, I was trying to keep up with what they said was cool, not what I thought was cool. And I quickly learned that I don't have the funds or the means to do that, or the space. Right. It's not always about the funds; it's about the space. I mean, what people don't realize is you buy a $300 hot toy, then you have to buy a Besta to put the dang thing in. That's $1,500 worth of Bestas right there.
Yeah.
To put these figures in.
Trust me, I know.
So, yeah, I mean, Moji cases and, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I mean, you spend almost as much on the dang case as you do, all your figures combined, and
Yeah.
it adds up. So, but, obviously you don't want to get, dust on them and stuff like that. Which thankfully my room is pretty dust free for the most part.
Yeah, not mine.
But
I mean, if you look over this way, I mean, I have Chewbacca and Greedo, and then I have Boba Fett, and I have some helmets.
oh, that Boba Fett's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. It's the sideshow life size. If you can see it.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I have to dust a lot. I mean, he's not going to fit in a Maju case, but he's always probably going to be out. But Chewbacca, Greedo, and these guys up here, they're on the top up here. They're all going to end up in that Maju case.
Gotcha.
So I don't have to dust it because it's going to be tall and it's going to be to the edge of my. If I can get out of the way, it's going to be the edge of that Maju case.
Okay.
So it's going to come out 27, 28 inches. So,
Yep.
But yeah, I just want to keep because dude, Chewbacca. I mean, he's got a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Trying to dust it all off is like, I mean, it's a pain.
Frankie's asking how that rug is holding up.
Oh, this rug? It's all right. I mean, this one's hasn't done that bad. I mean, I've had it since I've lived in this house 5 years. And then I have another one over here. It's the Darth Vader one in the kitchen here. Scott and Janine always come like, oh, we just hang out in my kitchen because here's my space, but the kitchen is right here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they're always going, oh yeah, we're hanging out in the kitchen.
Right
We're not talking about you.
here.
We're talking about Janine and Scott.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they always came and hang out in the.
Well, we hang out right here, but it looks like we're in the kitchen.
Yeah, most of you guys like to hang out in the kitchen. Because basically, yours is right here. Wherever I'm sitting, like
Well, yeah, we're always hanging out. All right, but yeah, but I mean, for what space I have, it works. So, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting that case, even though it's going to take like a year or over a year to get the damn thing. So. I don't know. It took a year just to get the one behind me. So
yeah, and that's just it. I mean, you have to decide, which way you want to go. Do you want to go IKEA? Do you want to go Logi case? Do you want to go a full custom build? Do you want to go to Home Depot and pick up metal shelving and piece it all together? And and I chose to go with IKEA because I literally have an IKEA 10 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
So it was easy for me to go there and look at things and measure stuff. And I didn't go with the DTOFs because there was a big sign on it that says, these are, leaving forever. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, I'm not going to invest in two and then not be able to get any more if I need them. So I went with the Bestas, and I kind of wish I would have went with the black Bestas, but the color of my walls, which obviously I know I could change, but I just felt that white went better with it, so that's what I went with. And I got a couple of, I think they're called Billy bookcases, and got the glass doors for them, and put those in. And I still have some room I could put some stuff, and I got a big simulation racing rig right here that's covered in stuff right now, so I'm not going to show it. But this used to be my sim racing room, and the sim rig used to sit this way. And it used to take up most of the room, and I had all my car show stuff. I used to be real big in the car shows, and I showed Ford Mustangs for a while at car shows and stuff. So I got trophies and stuff over here that I've kept and won, and all that sort of stuff. So at my old house, I had a huge 17 by 17 foot room that had all this stuff in it, and it didn't seem like that much stuff. But here I have a 8 by 8 room, basically, maybe 8 by 10, and it's like, wow, I got way too much stuff. and then you add in all the Star Wars stuff on top of that, and it's like, whew.
Yep.
So, yeah, Scott says metal shelving fits the budget right now.
Yeah. Well, the thing I like about Module Case is because they're meant for collectibles.
Yes.
You know, the way they're built and the lights, you know, I like the way they look. They're easy to build. They're not that difficult. They are a pain, but once you build one, you kind of just know how to build them. You know what I mean? But they are very, very nice looking. And
Oh, yeah.
they definitely bring out the collection. You know what I mean? Like, it was like night and day seeing them in Dittos like this, and then seeing them like that. I was like, this is way better. So I was kind of sold after I got my first Module Case. I was like, I am not going back. I have to buy another one. So, but they're not cheap. The one I bought was like $2,400, and shipping's like $300 on top of that. So you're looking at $2,700.
Yep.
For 88 inches long, and then I think it's like 90 or I forgot how tall it is, like 95 inches tall, maybe, and then I think 27 inches deep.
Deep.
Yeah. So.
But, yeah, and I mean, and that's what collectors have to think about is, okay, do I get a Module Case and have something that's super nice, and I know my stuff is basically 100% protected, but it's going to cost me as much as 20 Hot Toys? Or do I buy the 20 Hot Toys and then go the cheaper route and hope that, I can get something like the Best Air or whatnot and keep it dust free and it looks nice. I don't have to buy lights and wire the lights and everything else. So it's, it's one of those toss ups. You have to kind of weigh those options and figure out what you want to do.
Hold on one second, James. Just go to that cabinet. You looking for a cup?
Yeah.
Right there. Just get the glass cups. Just don't break it. Right here. No, the other cabinet right there above the coffee. Yes, grab one of those glasses and fill it up with water. Just don't break it. He's like looking for his plastic cups, and like they're all dirty. I haven't washed them. Just grab a plastic cup.
Yeah.
Just don't drop it.
Exactly. Yeah, don't drop it.
But no, yeah. I mean, like I said, it just depends on what you want to spend. The one thing, at least with Module Case, you pay for half now, and then you pay for the rest when it's ready to ship.
Right.
So it's just split down the middle.
Hey, Scott.
Yes. I know Scott's watching.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I seen how Jeff's did his, and I know Scott's built his with the the metal framing and stuff. But plexiglass is not cheap neither.
No.
So like that's what these all come in, and it's that you have it on the sides. He said, "Hey, Jameson." So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, my neighbor Sean, who lives over here, he's a collector too. He's got some Module Cases also. He's got the DF versions.
Okay.
But they're nice, man. I mean, they bring out your collection. So, but like I said, it depends on what budget you're on.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll probably close this down for the night, and we've been on here almost 2 hours, so that's usually about what Spice Runners goes, unless Evan's really been drinking, and then it goes longer. So
yeah, right.
I
haven't had anything to drink in 2 hours, so
I haven't drank anything.
I've been drinking for lots of days. Think past a few months.
Like a year and a half, I haven't drank.
Yeah.
So he's getting stronger.
Well, I appreciate you putting the invite out there to have people come on. I mean, I like to come say hi to people every now and then. You know what I mean?
Same goes for me. I just say hi.
Whatever. Sometimes, you're a lot, but it's okay.
It's all good. All good.
Cool, dude. Well, hopefully, we'll chat soon. And like I said, I appreciate letting us come on and whatnot. So
Yeah, absolutely.
You're
Yeah,
breaking into
We'll have Rogue 5 Cantina on Sunday, and I got the big toy show I'm going to tomorrow. So hopefully I don't break the bank on that. I've told myself I'm limiting myself to $100. So we'll see if I can actually walk out of there for that.
Well, I guess we'll see tomorrow in what you bought in Evan's little thread of like, what'd you buy?
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. I'm kind of scared actually because there's like 900 vendor tables there. So I'm hoping a lot of it is anime, that stuff that I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
So I'm praying it's all that stuff, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But in any case, I think we'll stop this, and thanks for coming on. Thanks for the chat. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it, and we'll see everybody later.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Later.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Later.
Utinni